Hello and welcome to Bangladesh Today. Today we have with us Shri Buddhadeb Dasgupta, noted filmmaker, author and poet. Thank you very much for speaking with us. I'd like to begin by asking you, when 1947 happened and the partition took place, that event had a profound effect in Punjab in Pakistan and Punjab in India. And that got mentioned a lot, that got depicted a lot in Bollywood. It got written about a lot by writers and poets. Did that was there a mirror image in the East too? Did Bengali literature reflect that angst of partition?
Definitely, because the pain of partition was seen even in this part of India. People of this part of India, they suffered a lot. Those who have to come from that part of India, which was before
East
Pakistan to India, they suffered a lot, and the pain they faced, no less sad than what happened in East Pakistan.
In Punjab.
In Punjab, there's quite a number of authors, those who have either they were born or they came and migrated to this part of India. When they started writing, this partition was definitely reflected in their writing. Even not only in writing, in literature, in novels, in short stories, and in poetry. Quite a number of authors, poets, they talked about this pain. And even in film, we have seen one film that is, I think that's quite a masterpiece by Nimai Ghosh. The name of the film is Chinnamul. It's a very, very highly rated film, even by Ritik Ghatuk. And Ritik Ghatuk was also one of the actors in that film, Okay. Even Ritik Ghatuk being another person whose family had to migrate after partition. In his films also, you can see this pain, the pain of partition, the pain of being uprooted from your own land was there, definitely. And Mrinal Sen was also from that part of East Pakistan, Bengal. And but I don't remember any film by Mrinal Sen where he has
depicted angst.
This problem. No, I don't think so. But whenever I had a chance to talk to Mrinal Sen, I could feel that pain. That was there, definitely there. But lately, the filmmakers have not been, definitely not been touching that problem. I don't know why, but I tried to make one film, Tahadir Kotha, with Mithun. It was very well received all over the world. And also recently, I made one documentary, 3 women of 3 times and the border. The problem is, this generation, they don't know. They don't know that journey of that land to this land, the journey of pain, the journey of nightmare, that they don't know. They've just heard of. So they don't feel this problem. That's why I think the new generation filmmakers have not been depicting this problem in their films.
There are people in Bangladesh who had, the older generation. They had their first passport was Indian, and then it became Pakistani, and then it became Bangladeshi. A same person has had 3 nationality passports, which is unheard of anywhere in the world, that it became 3 different countries. In a span of a few decades, it changed the face.
And this part is absolutely new. And I know some of these people who have had these 3 passports in their life,
And it causes, it's not, that's just a documentation. But to get that documentation is so much of uprootment, in a person's psyche, in a person's social setup that he is in, moving home again and again. It's a destabilizing thing, isn't it?
Moving home is definitely is there, but more than that, the getting uprooted emotionally, that was more dangerous. And you can leave your home and find out home in other part of the world, but when you get emotionally uprooted, that is more dangerous. That's more painful. That's exactly what happened to some of these people. To some of these people, I remember my family, especially my mother's family, were uprooted, and they had to come to this part of Bengal.
West Bengal.
And my grandmother never believed that this is his country now. This is her country now. She always thought she'll be going back to East Pakistan, and that is her country, not this one. She died here, but till the last day of her death, she believed she will go back. She wanted to go back emotionally. For her, it's not a home. It's more painful for her was getting uprooted emotionally from her own place. That is, I think, this emotional uprootment is really, really more painful.
Was that restricted to just one generation, this pain of uprootment, or did it get affected? I mean, it must have affected you, which is why you made the documentary, even though you were a post-partition filmmaker. But it obviously, had some impact on you, what you saw with your grandmother, and that's why you made the film, isn't it?
Yes, I've heard my grandmother talking. I've seen my grandmother living in that part of East Bengal. I've seen that family growing there and rooted deeply there. And I also have seen them, watched them when they got uprooted. So I can feel the pain. But my daughters, they don't know much about this. They have heard a little from me. Whatever they have heard, well, they remember a little, but the pain is missing.
Okay.
That's the big problem, And I think after
the next generation,
nothing will remain, This pain will just vanish. But this pain has not been something absolutely new that happened in this part of the world. It happened everywhere. I was in East Germany. I was in West Germany. When I was in East Germany, I heard people talking about their relatives, those at that time they were staying in East Germany, and from West Germany, those were staying in East Germany. The pain of being separated from your own people.
But now they don't have a border. It became one. Do you see that open borders are something that could happen between India and Bangladesh at some point of time? See, you are an artist. For an artist, there are no borders.
Yes.
Right? Yes. But for a citizen, a border is a necessity. Yeah. Where does that conflict come as an artist and as a citizen?
Well, as a citizen, you are bound to abide by the rule of the government, and you have to accept that border. But that border doesn't exist in your emotion. When I think emotionally, I don't believe in any border between my place and that place. And whenever I visit Bangladesh, because I feel very happy because my family belongs to this part of Bengal. And I find a very definite kind of attachment with that land, knowing fully well I'm in a foreign country. That I know. And I have to.
You respect that, but.
I respect that, definitely. But as I'm saying, it's not only me. There's so many of us here in Bengal, so many of them there in Bengal.
One was the family link. How important is the link of language between the two?
Well, I think that's the most important link, because it's the same language you speak, and that is the bond that has been created, or the bond that stands for this because we share the same language. Not only same language, almost same culture, same food habit. You can say almost same kind of psyche. And the bond that has been created through all this so strong that you sometimes, so many times, you just forget that you are in a foreign land and you are talking to someone who doesn't belong to your religion. You don't even think about religion. This bond is beyond this barrier of religion. That's very interesting and that's very important,
Now, India and Bangladesh, the relationship is on an upswing. Your films have always been appreciated there. Your writings have been read in Bangladesh. Now it's going to be something which is going to be open and legal, where films will be exhibited and there's going to be joint film production. Do you see that as something that's going to improve links between India and Bangladesh, and that's for the good of Bangladeshi film production as well?
Well, politically, definitely India and Bangladesh will come more close to each other and can do something more positive to the people of that part and this part of the country. But mind you, that this link was there before, long time back. I remember I was in Bangladesh. I found my CDs, copied by some unknown businessman, and they were sold in Bangladesh market. I saw the same films were sold in Toronto. They have this mini Bangladesh even there. So this cultural bond, this cultural exchange was always there. Because whenever I get a chance to see a film made by my Bangladeshi film director, I just go and see that film. This is something very interesting. I think this will remain all the time as long as Bengali language will remain. Spoken language picks up many words every time because the lingo goes on changing every decade. The new words come, be it Hindi or any other language. It happens. Even in Bangladesh, even in Bengali, there's so many words which are Portugal. But Portuguese language, so many words. And some of us, we don't even know these are not Bengali words, but they have become part and parcel of Bengali language now. Similarly, if one or two words here and there are spoken by a Bengali in Hindi, that's okay because you can't resist it. And language,
it's a dynamic thing.
Language changes, it shades every decade, every time.
If you were to make today, just in conclusion, if you were to make one film on Bangladesh, what topic would you pick about Bangladeshi society which really impacts you the most when you visit Bangladesh? What is it?
Well, the thing is, partition happened. As partition happened in 47, partition also happened for 71. Them in 71. The thing, and whenever I go to Bangladesh, whenever I visit Bangladesh, what I find, the commoners have been suffering. And the commoners have been suffering everywhere. I feel really, really sad when I find my people in Bangladesh and people in Bangladesh in general, those who are common people, their condition has not been changed. And similarly, the same thing has happened here.
Right. So regardless of borders being redrawn, the common man or the poor person, it makes no difference to his life.
No, not in a big way. Well, when you talk about culture, it's altogether a different thing. When you talk about economics, when you talk about the social aspects of people's life, then you find that
the rigors are the same.
It's the same. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The partition has added definitely sorrow to some people, but those who stayed back there, the music that they have been facing now is really very, very sad.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you.